In August last year, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu hosted Zambia's President Hakainde Hichilema to discuss strengthening ties. This was part of Israel's Africa Charm offensive that had seen the normalization of ties with Chad in 2019 and Sudan in 2020. By 2023, Israel had established diplomatic ties with at least 40 African countries. But last week, Israel's diplomatic efforts were set back following a conflict that erupted between Israel and Hamas. The African Union put out a statement pointing the blame at Israel for the escalation in violence. On the same day, Kenya's foreign minister put out a statement backing Israel. Ghana, too, issued a statement calling for restraint from Israel, but affirming its support for Israel's right to exist and defend itself.
What tends to happen is that member states will have their views. I think what's important is that while, of course, they may be issuing statements that have contradictory soundings, I think nobody has come out to disown what the African Union has said.
Israel's response in the conflict, experts say, has led to an overwhelming support for Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, particularly from Muslim countries in Africa that had restored relations with Israel.
What's happening now in Gaza is a real human dilemma and unprecedented human catastrophe, according to UNRWA, especially in light of the surging death toll among civilians. So definitely this creates a huge wave of solidarity with Palestine, not only from the Muslim majority countries, but also from across the countries.
Those countries include South Africa, whose president has condemned Israel's blockade of Gaza.
We have seen that they are forcing Palestinians to leave their homes with no electricity, with no water, and targeting civilians. So definitely this will have a severe impact on the future relations.
There are concerns that the conflict could spread across the Middle East and have far-reaching implications in Africa.
There will be even less attention to major conflicts that are occurring on the continent. You'll know that Sudan, for example, is in the middle of a vicious war. Already the response to that has been very lackluster. I think we have to worry about what the economic fallout might be because the continent already has been buffeted by crises, COVID, and then the war in Ukraine and climatic stresses.
While some countries, including Egypt and Morocco, have already issued strongly worded statements, they've also witnessed large protests against Israel in support of the Palestinian people. It's an indication that citizens want their governments to take a tougher stance, something they may not be willing to do at this stage. Robert Nagila, CGTN, Nairobi, Kenya.